Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Infinite Canvas podcast. This is John Venegas here speaking. Just kind of wanted to apologize about the fact that this episode is about a week late. We hope you guys understand it's been a rough week this last couple of days, just considering it's been finals time for both myself and David, and we hope that you guys will enjoy this episode and the following episode as well. Sometimes when you come up with a premise for a movie or a show, you think to yourself, what is the perfect premise? What's my setting? What time period am I in? For Doctor Who, I feel like that answer is everywhere, all the time. And I think that's where some of the beauty comes in, I think. Why we love to watch this show so much. It is the fact that you can go literally anywhere, anytime. But for some reason, we come back to Christmas a lot. And I think it's because of the fact that it's a time of fun and joy, time for bringing family and friends together. And Doctor Who tends to come back to Christmas about every year. Now, one of the fun things about it is that it always brings in some sort of fantastical element to it, too. Be it I think it was Robot Santas once. We actually got to, quote-unquote, meet Santa Claus one time or another. And, it's just always fantastic to watch. And in today's episode of the Infinite Canvas podcast, me and David have come up with our own, albeit probably kind of bad, Doctor Who Christmas specials. So I hope you guys enjoy and get ready for that Christmas spirit. Today's special episode. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Infinite Canvas podcast. It's been 2 weeks since... It's been 13 days since the last time you guys should have heard us. Probably. I don't know. So I don't know if you noticed, David, but last time our episode was supposed to go up on the 28th.
Yeah.
And it went up on the 29th because I fucked up. I left my computer on overnight to upload.
Yes.
Because it takes forever. And my computer wasn't plugged in, so it died.
Oh. By the way, I'm David Foz.
And I had to do it again.
No. But we didn't introduce ourselves.
I am John Venegas, and I'm dying from fear of failure.
Oh, God. That's very depressing, John.
That's normal during finals time, though.
That is very true. Very true. Which I'm using that excuse for today's episode.
Aren't we all?
Finals.
we were supposed to do this. We were supposed to record a couple days ago. And you texted me, "Hey John, I'm sorry, but I can't come because I have to go to a birthday party." And I'm like, yes, I don't have to record today. Not that I don't want to, but it's because I have to finish a presentation, which, spoiler alert, I haven't finished yet.
I also have to finish a presentation. I have not started on it as well.
Yeah, so this episode might be delayed a little bit, which is, it's for our own good.
Oh, yeah. So, hey, John, what are we doing today?
We talked about this. We were going to be doing our own little Doctor Who specials for presumably Christmas.
Yes, Christmas.
So as some of you guys might know already, we like Doctor Who, and some of us have watched the entire series, and some of us have not caught up.
Some of us waited 2 years to watch it when someone else told them to watch it.
In my defense, when people tell me to watch something, it is very difficult for me to get into it. Because somewhere in the back of my head, I'm just like, I'm not going to do this just to spite them. But also, like, man, I'm really afraid of watching any show that has more than 30 episodes. Like, if you tell me to watch something that has more than 30 episodes, chances are I will not watch it. But if you suggest to me 5 different shows that run for 1 season each, it'll be more likely for me to watch those, with the exception of the Netflix Marvel series, because in my head I kind of see that as all as one big show. So then that's the same problem there.
God, you do know they did not all come out at the same time, so you had time to watch 13 episodes before like the next one came out.
Yeah, but I knew they were coming.
Oh, but still. I mean, Punisher is already done with, and you still haven't started season 2 of Daredevil.
I did start season 2 of Daredevil. I watched the first episode.
And what about the second episode?
I don't know. I'll get around to it.
Oh my god.
So before you berate me anymore about that, right before I get into talking about, because I'm going to be going first this time, I think. First of all, you're going to have to excuse my script for being shitty at the end, and at the beginning, and at the middle.
I was going to say that.
So the thing is that I'm not a big fan of writing quote-unquote fan fiction. This is the first time I've ever written fan fiction, in my opinion. Other than, oh damn, are we the only people that have ever written Paul Blart fan fiction? Because we did that.
I'm pretty sure if you dig deep into the internet, you'll find something. I'm pretty sure we're not the first ones. Remember the first ones to admit it.
I don't want to... I mean, I admit it because it was a shitty thing to do. But I don't want to be the first people to do that. That just sounds dirty.
Just wait until Mall Cop 3 comes out. We can do one for that one.
It's never going to come out.
Never say never.
So... okay, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So, the new Doctor is going to be played by... I forgot her name.
Wait, it's her? Gasp!
Yeah,
how dare they?
We already know that though. No, okay, so I remember I was talking to somebody about that. I was like, man, I am so pissed at the new decision that they made for the Doctor. I was like, are you mad that the Doctor's a woman? Oh no, it's not that. It's just that the Doctor is going to be speaking in a Yorkshire accent. This is no offense to people from Yorkshire. I didn't know what you sounded like. So, like, I had to go out of my way to find out what you sound like, and that's why I'm pissed. Because it took me forever. It wasn't an easily accessible thing to find on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
It's also kind of hard for me to understand it, but that's... Now I'm going into the realm of offensive.
It's good.
So, my story... Oh god. Is actually about something that I kind of wanted to introduce in something else at some point. So this is like I never said really. I never said the name of the thing that shows up in this. It's not a Doctor Who creature, but it is inspired by that same vein of like the when I came up with this creature, it was kind of something like inspired by, I want to say like Weeping Angels or Silence, where it's like a like a perception based thing. Like, you know, its entire part of its existence is based on other people's perception of it. Essentially, I really liked that that concept. And so then I'm just gonna start going off of this. You can interrupt me at any time, by the way. It's only like a few pages long.
Go for it.
So it starts off with 12 going down to visit Clara, and the moment that I wrote that line, I just remembered I didn't like Clara very much.
What is your issue with Clara?
I don't know. She feels like such a weird character to me. Like,
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
it doesn't seem, huh?
Is it because she came in like in the middle of a season and it just felt like
Maybe
really weird or something?
why. It just feels out of place to me. I mean, it fits in like the Doctor Who kind of like lore thing, I guess, because they found a way to like quote unquote cleverly write her in. But oh wait, I already said unquote. Okay, but I don't know. I can't come to grips to like explain why. And it's like one of those things that like I'm not very good at explaining this specific reason why. I just don't. Maybe it's just the way the character's written, but it just feels weird to me. Like I don't like when characters. Here I think is what it is. I don't like it when companions go a little bit too far and like they try to just impersonate and like pretend to be the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels weird when they basically just become Doctor Juniors, and I didn't like that about her.
I mean, you like Rose, didn't you? And she kind of got like that towards the end of her season.
That's true too, but it didn't feel as, I don't know. Anyways, it's Christmas time. I don't know how many Christmases they got to spend together, so this is just this is non-canon. Obviously, it's super non-canon. This is no opportunity of being canon whatsoever.
You don't know that.
I hope not. It's used as a creature that I want to use in something.
Okay.
I really shouldn't be saying that out loud. Just considering I still haven't told the story. Anyways, so so he stops by the school to visit her and notices that the kids are starting to act out kind of weird. Mm-hmm. They're breaking shit and they're just going insane. It seems a little out of the ordinary, clearly, and 12 and Clara end up trying to outrun the children and avoid them, and try to get to the TARDIS, or just to get somewhere safe. The two notice that the kids are not acting like zombies. They seem to be acting on their own accord. They just are doing things they normally wouldn't be doing. Mm-hmm. And in good old Doctor Who fashion, because shitty writers try to use every opportunity to ham-fist the TARDIS or the sonic screwdriver in some fashion or another. Mm-hmm. I kind of just wanted to point out that those two things are basically going to be useless in this.
What about the sonic sunglasses?
I think this would be before that. I think this will be before that because I haven't finished that season yet.
Oh my God, John.
I watched part of the season. I don't know what episode I was on last. I know I've already met Shielder. I think Clara is in some episodes. I don't know.
Okay.
I know I've seen the one where they're underwater or something like that, and there's like the ghosts episode. I saw that one.
Yeah, he has it by then.
Huh?
He has the sunglasses by then.
Oh no! I know he has the sunglasses. I don't know. I didn't really pay too much attention to understand why he had some fucking sunglasses. But whatever.
Oh, okay.
Hey, that to me that's just another fez. That's like, oh, the Doctor's got to have this cool little quirky thing that makes him something special or something.
Well, no, because the fez came in for an episode, then it went away. He had the glasses for like a good 5 or 6 episodes. I think he had the Doctor remaining of the season.
11 mentioned the fez more times than he had one.
It's true.
It just felt a little weird. Anyways. So he uses the sonic screwdriver to see if the kids are alright. Doesn't pick up any foreign activity and no stress from the children. So there's like no way he can understand what's going on. The adults are then tied up and locked up in classrooms. The children keep track of everyone, and one of the kids, I'm just calling him Nick, he starts reading from a list, and you just hear him go, nice, 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 nice. And then he gets to Doctor and Claire and goes, naughty, naughty. And I don't know why I kept that in the script. It doesn't make sense anymore.
Is your bad guy Santa Claus?
Is he? I don't know. The two look at each other confused. Clearly this is some sort of game. Nick tells the kids to untie those two specific people. Nick is seen talking to himself. 12 asks, the Doctor asks Nick if he's talking out loud to himself. And then it clarifies, no, I'm talking to Santa, and then the theme song goes off. So before I go into that, I don't know if you wanted to speculate maybe what's going on. This is the part where like commercials are going off, and you can be kind of like, what's going on?
Oh, I mean, technically, if this was airing in the British area, there wouldn't be any commercials here.
There wouldn't be?
They don't have commercials during the shows. That's just the America thing, dude.
What kind of backwards world is that? Also, I watched it on Netflix.
Other commercials before and after the show.
What the hell? I want
Dude.
that. I mean, I have Netflix, but that sounds like what? Okay,
Did you not
whatever.
know that?
I mean, I don't watch a lot of television, so most of my media consumption comes from streaming and or the internet, which might change soon. I don't know.
Okay, well, your plan messed up because there would not be any commercials technically in like Europe and Britain.
Okay,
and
so
stuff.
then you get 2 seconds. You get like a minute to like think it out loud to yourself what's going on, and then we cut back, and then Clara asks him if he's all right. Nick tells him that Santa Claus is in danger, and then he needs to get a hold of a he needs to get a hold of a tesseractal device that his has been damaged, and is like a what? It's a 4-dimensional object that can store matter inside, more matter inside than on the outside. It's like, does he want my freaking TARDIS? Yeah, that's exactly what he wants. It's like, yeah, Santa needs one because his thing is broken, and he's like, Clara is just like, okay, I want you to be honest with me. Is Santa real? Because I just want to know if Nick is crazy. And, this is actually a really funny thing. I was thinking of something like this. It's like, honestly, okay, here's the thing. I don't know. If I've ever met him, memory seems to escape me. Kind of like when I meet another version of myself from the past or the future, because I kind of did a little bit of research of his encounters with Santa, and he always is surprised when he meets him.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, you've met
how
him
can
before?
you be surprised in like other stuff? Like, different versions of the Doctor have met Santa, and they range from, oh, he's an old friend of mine, to, what, you're real? More than one time. So I'm just kind of like, putting that out there, that this version of Santa, like whatever version of Santa that the Doctor Who universe would end up using, is like this weird time dilated kind of thing where it's like, it's kind of hard for you to figure out if he's real or not, because it kind of affects memory. So that's why Santa is kind of like a hearsay thing. It's not a thing you can have concrete evidence on. But the script keeps going, and it's like, excuse me, are you Santa? And the Doctor's, I mean, I could be. I also couldn't be. It's a mystery, even to myself. And Nick's just like, trust me, you're not Santa. Like, immediately, he's like, yeah, you're not Santa. Just trust me on that, okay? It's like, okay. The Doctor's just very, 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 he wants to stop beating around the bush, and he's just like, Nick, how are you talking to Santa? What do you mean? It's like, and also, I'm not doing the accent because I do a really shitty Scottish accent. How do you communicate with the old man? I talk to him? And Claire's just like, this isn't getting anywhere. Can you just take us to him? Oh yeah, he's already here. He just has a hard time talking to adults. What's going on? Okay, I have 2 theories. Okay, any of them involve Nick not being insane? Okay, I have one theory. I might be a little off, but he says that I think he is talking to someone. He says it's subjective vision, so it must be someone in hiding. Since adults can't see him, he must be using some sort of selective perception filter. And then Santa's like, and Nick says, Santa says you don't believe in him. Claire's like, I'm sorry, what? And Nick goes, it's not a perception filter. He says that's archaic. You just can't see him because you don't believe in him. And then they look at each other, like Claire and the Doctor look at each other, and it's just like, what? He also says that you need to hurry up and give him the keys to your TARDIS. He's in a bit of a rush. Alright, so you've entertained me for long enough. I need Santa to back off. I'm not gonna give him anything if I don't know who or what he is. And then Claire's like, can the other kids see him? It's like, yeah, the other kids can see him. Okay. And then you just hear Nick mumbling to himself, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. Claire's like, what? Nick goes, oh, Santa's telling me this really hard word to pronounce. He's telling me it's what is that again? That's your name? Doctor? I just can't say the next word. And then Doctor goes, okay, Nick, what does Santa want? So it's kind of implied that this Santa entity can read people's minds. If it's not obvious. And he's like, Santa just wants to go home. He's done with Christmas. And then the Doctor goes, Nick, I need you to draw what Santa looks like for me. And the drawing he gets back is not Santa Claus. It's just this weird scribbly mess of incomprehensible shit. You might think it's just scribbles, but the doctor, Claire's like, that's just scribbles. It's like, no, Claire, that's not just scribbles. No, I know that you might be thinking that the kid just doesn't know how to draw, but that is not scribbles. That is something else, and I don't understand what it is. So, you know what it is? Well, I have no idea what that is. So, it's an alien that the Doctor has never met before, obviously. He doesn't know what it is. This is where I kind of derailed, because I realized there was no real tension, I guess you could say, building up. It's one of those things that I kind of had a hard time with. So I'm just kind of leaving it out up in the air. So over time, we learned that the creature can only be seen by people that believe in it. I've already mentioned that. Its influence is one of those things that if you can see him, if you can see it, it kind of alters your mental state a little bit. It's still you doing what you would normally be doing. Or, it's still you doing stuff, but a little bit more subconsciously rather than consciously. Because your brain is just not understanding what's going on, and your brain kind of goes into this different mode, essentially. You just can't come to grips with reality, and so then you kind of end up acting out, which explains why the kids are acting weird. Now, the creature itself is afraid. It doesn't want to be anywhere near the kids, because it itself understands that it is harmful to the children's existence. Now, in order to get help, however, because it's going to die soon unless it gets back to its home. In order for it to continue its survival, it needs the help of the kids, because it knows that the kids have, in some way or another, contact with a man who has... give me 1 second. Alright, so, it understands that, the kids are, so the creature itself understands that the kids have contact with somebody with a time machine. Or, not a time machine, but a spaceship, essentially. And so then it, because it can read minds, and it can just kind of, put together, the fact that Clara, lives the school, that Clara goes to the school, it kind of just feeds off of her memories and, understands what she's thinking. And it's like, this person knows someone with the spaceship. I can go home if I need to. And so then, the creature, since it can't be comprehended, it tries to get a hold of the Doctor. It has been repeatedly trying to get a hold of him. Now, it has been here's the thing though. It has been in the TARDIS before. But it can't operate the TARDIS itself because of the fact that it has very low level interaction with things around it. It can't. It doesn't know how the TARDIS works, so it doesn't want to risk accidentally sending itself somewhere it doesn't want to be. Now, we kind of. This is one of those things that I kind of wanted to. I kind of think would be kind of cool when it actually ends up getting on the TARDIS at the end of this episode. We kind of just see flashbacks of it a little bit, and we kind of noticed that it is actually the same creature that was writing "Listen" on the blackboard. Because it was trying to get the Doctor's attention. Hey, I need to go home. Please help me out here. And it wasn't working out for him. That was, okay. I thought that was a neat way of, trying to, explain that was a real thing. Or, trying to explain what that was. I don't know if that was explained in the actual episode, or if it was left open-ended. But I thought that would be kind of cool. Yeah. I know it sounds kind of weird that it was my version of this was kind of like a shitty story, but it's what it is.
It's good. It's good. It kind of reminds me of the Vincent Van Gogh episode. Not exactly like it. Yeah, because there was the invisible creature, but he could interact with things.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh shit, they could be the same species. For Vincent Van Gogh, it was one of those things that I had a little bit not input or help, but I asked my brother, like, I had this idea for a creature that you could only see if you believed in it. And I'm like, but,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to write this thing, like, originally the story was about a detective, but since you said you wanted to do, like, a Doctor Who thing, I'm like, I could adapt this for Doctor Who, I guess you could say. So I was like, okay, so instead of a detective, it would just be the Doctor. And it's like, okay, so I asked my brother, so how would you say, the detective has to solve a mystery based on a creature that you can't see, right? It's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. But the creature still influences things, right? So there's evidence that it exists, but there's no way that the detective can prove it exists. So I want the detective to find a way to understand the creature. How would you go around explaining it? And he goes and says, well, you just indoctrinate people at a younger age. Just tell them that it exists. And I'm like, no, because that sounds too religious-y. And he's like, what about Santa Claus? That's not a religious thing. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense, actually. Just like getting that idea into kids early on, it's like, okay, they understand what Santa is, so maybe the same concept could apply there.
Okay.
Oh, I was done with my stuff. I don't know if you had any
Oh,
input
I'm
on
sorry. I thought you were gonna. I thought you had some. We were gonna do some more explaining of things.
No, I already told you it was kind of bad.
It's good.
I mean, there was no real... I couldn't find a way to introduce any actual tension, because I think I found that difficult. Like one of those things, like, I couldn't think of, like, any action to incorporate into it. And I know that maybe, it's one of those things that maybe it's not specifically like an action-based thing, but I still wanted to have some sort of action, and I couldn't think of what to put in there. Because I didn't want the creature to be evil, and I didn't want it to come across as, like an antagonist, obviously. But maybe if I could rewrite this or something, maybe I would incorporate some of the kids more into the story, where they're the ones causing, like, obviously they would be causing more trouble, and they would make it more difficult. Maybe some of the kids actually know what Santa really is. Obviously they can see it, so they can see that it's not really Santa, it's something else. So obviously some of the kids would be trying to kill it, maybe. And it's one of those things that, okay, so how's the Doctor gonna deal with children? Like, first of all, they're kids. You can't hurt them. The Doctor never hurts anyone anyways, but it's like, you can't really do anything about them. They're just kids. It's tough.
Yeah, but for me, it doesn't have to be that heavy action base for it to be like a good episodes.
No,
like, some of the best episodes are like really good storytelling. Like, there might not be any action in there, but just the storytelling of the episode, like, really makes that episode.
Like Blink. Blink doesn't have a lot of action in it, if any. It doesn't.
That was such a great episode.
I was thinking of Blink when I was writing this. I don't want to write Blink, so I'm like, I'm gonna leave the Doctor in the episode. I actually, when I started writing this, I was like, the Doctor's not in it. He's just kind of like talking to the kids from somewhere else. I'm like, this is just Blink. I'm just writing Blink. I really would have loved to have had a moment where, kind of like in Days of Future Past, where where Xavier talks to himself through time travel. I thought it'd be kind of cool to have a moment like that, where like Nick is talking to Santa and the Doctor at the same time, and like the audience, we see like the two communicating to each other, but then like we kind of like break to reality, and it's just the Doctor talking to some kid talking to his basically imaginary friend. Yeah. Okay. If anyone's interested at all, the name of the creature that I had I called it a Norn, Norn, same as the Norse word Norn, like I think they're goddesses. It's an old alien species that I kind of wanted to incorporate into some stories here and there. So I might, if we ever do episodes on space stuff, I might end up putting it in there, to be honest.
Okay. It's nice. Kind of now feel bad about what I chose, because
it
seems like you... Oh, no. But But no, for mine, it's like I said before we even started recording.
Should we have said spoilers a long time ago? Because I feel like we should have said some, because we mentioned a few things, and I of course don't care if you spoil things for me because I'm not like that.
Oh, well, no, I don't really. Oh, okay. One, he gets a new companion named Clara. Wow, and there's now a 12th Doctor now. So I mean, that's the only big spoils you did. But if you already know that, I mean, why even listen?
He gets sunglasses. That's cool, right? Am I right?
I mean, you just ruined that for someone.
To be honest, when he had sunglasses on at Fan Expo, that was really cool. I'm like, oh, look at him. He's so cool. And then he took his sunglasses off, and then security told us to stop recording.
But, no, okay, so what I wrote isn't gonna spoil anything. At least I'm 100% sure it's not gonna spoil anything. Okay, so, when I started writing this, I myself wasn't even sure we were even gonna do Doctor Who. So it took me, I came up with a beginning and somewhat of a middle. So I'm like, gonna really, freestyle the ending. But I wrote, okay, so mine doesn't actually start off on Christmas Day. Oh, okay, that's a lie. It does start off on the Christmas Day, like the first few seconds before the intro hits. And it's, and there's just a random British dude, and he's running in his house, like terrified. And, and we hear like stuff being knocked over, like furniture, vases, glasses, and stuff like that. And the dude is like terrified. He's like, oh my god, I need to get to the door. I need to call the cops. I need to get out. And then, like, he turns around and like there's an empty room. He doesn't see anything, and he goes like, he does that little, when against the wall, like in every horror movie that someone's gonna pop, behind you, and then, it zooms out to the outside of the house. You hear the dude scream, and that's it. And then it cuts to present day. Well, the whole intro comes, the whole TARDIS thing.
Was that the Smurfs song?
They had a song? Well, for today, that's going to be the Christmas jingle.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be the Smurf song, but it's going to do the TARDIS thing. Oh god.
Okay, so after the whole intro happens, TARDIS flying in the warpy thing, and so then it starts off on the bottom of the screen. You see, December 21st. So it's like that is like 3 days for Christmas Eve, or whenever it's because we're Hispanic and we don't actually celebrate Christmas Day. We celebrate Christmas Eve. We like lead up to Christmas, so that's why I find it kind of weird, but. Okay, it's like December 21st, so a couple of days before Christmas, and this is going to be Clara and Peter Capaldi's Doctor, 12th Doctor, right? He's 12.
Right, that's the one I was using too. I don't know if that was obvious.
13th Doctor, come on.
Okay, but, okay, as we all know, no, as any Doctor Who fan would know, you're not supposed to count the War Doctor as the 9th Doctor. He's the 8.5th Doctor.
Whatever you say. So,
and that
it's Clara and the 13th Doctor, and they're in a mall. They're walking around the mall. So they start off with Clara and the Doctor shopping in the mall, and like the Doctor has like an annoyed face. Like, the 12th Doctor already has like a mad face, so it's kind of it's just expression. And so it's just the Doctor with his mad face. And it's Clara, and she's shopping around the mall, whatever, and the Doctor's mad. He goes like, Clara, I thought you told me we had an emergency here. You told me to hop on the TARDIS, and we're gonna go back in time, because it was a life, threatening event that you need to help fix in the past. It's like, yeah, I forgot to buy Christmas presents. And, that's very serious for us because, I have a lot of kids I have to buy Christmas presents for. And then, the doctor responds back, well, oh God, I have it like written down here and it's like messing me up. Sorry. I'm gonna cut this out.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, I cut stuff out of mine too, probably. That's a lie. I added things into it.
Okay, so yeah, they go out shopping, and the doc tells them, "You told me we were going out for the party thing, life and death, kind of a event you need to go fix, but you just made me bring you to the past to buy presents." And Clara's like, "Well, if I left you a message, if you could take me back in time, so I could, buy some presents, will you have done it?" He's like, "No." It's like, "Well, there you go." And he goes like, you can't be using the TARDIS for this. Okay, the TARDIS is a machine that bends time and space. Okay, you can't be using this just to finish up your chores. And he goes, Clara's like, well, if it wasn't for you, I would have been able to finish this. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, because of you, we got locked up in prison on that planet. And he goes like, locked up? It's like, but I got us out, didn't I? It's like, yeah, 2 weeks after you broke us out. Well, can't be doing this anymore. And once we get back to the TARDIS, you're gonna have to watch my video for do's and don'ts for the TARDIS. He goes like, okay, I'll watch your video, but you gotta cheer up, man. It's the Christmas holiday. How about you go buy us some Christmas present? And then he goes, the doctor says his thing that he doesn't do Christmas, and I don't know if he ever says why he doesn't like doing Christmas. But he goes like, we're not gonna do, and like, I don't do Christmas. It's like, how do you not do Christmas? Everyone does Christmas. And he goes like, well, I'm part of everyone, and I don't do Christmas. Look, just go buy us some presents. We're gonna have a party. My family's throwing a party. That you can buy this scarf for my mom. You can buy this mug for my dad. And it's like, and you can buy me something, and I'll be surprised. You can buy me. Let's see. And she's like scanning through the store to see what the doctor can buy her, and she sees a stand like across the store. And she like jumps with joy, and she starts running, and the doctor follows her, and she reaches a stand of like a little figure, like a figurine, and it's of an angel, a little figurine angel, and she's so happy to see this, and the doctor's a bit confused. It's like, why are you so happy to see this like little figurine? Well, my grandma used to have a figurine just like this, and every Christmas we would put it on her Christmas tree. And the thing is that, her grandma died a couple of years ago. And during that whole commotion of planning her funeral, moving her stuff around, they lost the little angel figurine. And she never thought she would ever find one just like it. But there it is. And she's happy. She's like, I want this. But then you see like a little girl run up to the little stand, and she's sad because she wanted the figurine too. She wanted the little angel thing, and so she's crying to her dad. It's like, Daddy, they don't have any more of the little angels. They don't have him anymore. And Clara's sad, and she kind of doesn't want to give it up, but she goes back to the little girl and is like, hey, Santa just told me you were trying to find a little figurine, weren't you? And he goes, yeah, but the store right now, they don't have any more. It's like, yes, but Santa wanted me to give you an early gift. And so she gives her the little figurine. Mm-hmm. It's kind of sad because she wanted to have the figurine to remember her grandma. But, she wanted to make this little girl's Christmas, at least pretty good. So she gives her the little figurine. And so she tells the doctor, hey, okay, come on, I'm finished shopping. We can go home. You can help me wrap these gifts. And so the doctor's like, I thought you really wanted that. It's like, why did you just give it up so easily? And he goes like, well, I wanted to make the little girl's Christmas good. And then plus we can always go back in time and buy another one. And the doctor just looks at her like, we're not using the TARDIS for that. He goes like, I'm just joking. And so they're about to walk out the door, and they're stopped by a lady. She's sad. She's crying, and she's holding a piece of paper in her hand. And she walks up to Clara and the doctor and goes like, have you seen him? Have you seen my boy? I'm sorry, ma'am. We don't know who he is. Like, please, if you see him, or if you know anything, please contact me. And she hands him the flyer and she walks off. And Clara's like looking at it, and then it's like a pretty young boy. He's like probably like 17 years old, and Clara's like, Doctor, we got to do something. We got to help her. And he goes, and Doctor gives his speech that I think he's only given it to like Donna during that whole Pompeii thing. He can't go around saving everybody, because if he did, he'll never be done. It's like he has to choose your battles and choose what he does. But he can't go around saving anybody. He goes like, plus he's a teenager. He probably just ran away. He'll probably come back. He's like, just go back. I'll take you back home. You can finish wrapping your presents. And so Clara is like, she's not even staring at him anymore. She's like staring past him. And he goes like, Clara, come on. Don't get upset. Look, fine. I'll take you back in time to buy yourself a little angel thing. No, Doctor. We're gonna help him. And he goes, Clara, I can't do this. I can't do this for everyone. Then don't do it just for him. Do it for all of those. And she points to the back, and there's a giant wall full of missing people. Like from all ages, from kids to elders. And the doctor's like, yeah, he gets confused. He's kind of curious of what's going on. And so he starts going into investigation mode. And so he jumps into his TARDIS. He takes a picture. Well, first he takes a picture of the wall, and he jumps into the TARDIS and puts the picture into the into the little matrix thing, and to scan everyone to see if he can find any information about them. And so he gains a few information of like the most current people that have gone missing, and he starts visiting their houses. He walks in with a little psychic peeper saying, "Hey, yeah, we're FBI, we're trying to, we're looking up on your case," or whatever the British people have. I don't know what they have, but
they're like
their version of
they're aliens, David. They don't have anything.
No, they're on Earth. They're on Earth.
I beg to differ. Have you ever been to England? How do you know it's not real?
Well, they're on Earth, and whatever British version of the FBI, he's pretending to be them. And so he walks in, and he observes the house and everything, and Clara is the one asking the questions. And they do this for like 10 of the missing people's family. And so Clara is like confused. He goes like, I have no clue. There's nothing in common between them. They all live different lifestyles. They all live in different areas. It's like they have nothing in common. And the doctor's like, how can you miss it? How can you miss the pattern? He was like, what pattern? None of them share any lives. None of them work together. None of them even probably even meet each other during their everyday life. And he was like, oh, I thought you're a lot better than that, Clara. How can you have not seen it? He was like, then what? What did I miss? What did I miss? He goes, the statues. It's like, what statues? They had little angel statues in every house we visited. What is that going to do with anything? All I know is that statues are usually not something I like to be around, especially ones shaped as an angel's. And so he goes back to the store, and he goes back to the mall to where Clara got the little angel figurine. And he walks in there, and it's empty. Like, there was no more. But he jumps into the back room and starts looking to see if there's any back there. He's like, we're not supposed to be back here. We can get in trouble. Well, I'm not, Doctor doesn't care. And he finds one. He finds one and goes like, yeah, these were at every one of the house we visited. And I bet you if we go to everybody else's house, this was also in there too. And so he opens it up, he's sonic screwdriving it, and he's looking at his sonic screwdriver, and he's doing it again, and then looking at it, but, he's getting, no weird readings on there. He opens it and everything, he's, expecting it closely, and, licks it, looks at it, smashes it on the floor, breaks into pieces, and he goes like, that was, I wasn't expecting that. And so he's like, okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm just paranoid here. And he starts reading the box. Okay, let's see. Who made this? Created by Mr. G. It's like Mr. G and the G Incorporated. Okay, let's take a visit. And so they go visit the creator of this figurine. And he's when they get to the facilities, they get like a whole tour of the place, and they sneak away during the tour to the main offices of Mr. G. And so they go into his office. They're trying to do their detective work, and in walks Mr. G. He's just normal man, a bit on the older side, like maybe late 60s. And he goes like, well, you're not supposed to be in here. It's like, oh, we're sorry. We're from, he shows him a little psychic paper. We're from the, Federal Toy Inspection Department. We're here to inspect your toys. And he goes like, well, I've never heard of that department, but, I mean, you're free to look around, I guess. And, he's asking him questions. It's like, so, what are your stuff made out of? And, when did you start making them? And the old dude is, starting to become suspicious of, why are you asking so many questions that don't really relate to, toy safety stuff? And he was like, no, just wondering. And so then it gets to the point where the old dude gets annoyed and tells him to leave, calls security, tells him to leave. And so they walk out, and the old dude walks into, turns around, and he, opens the door, and he goes like, I think we might have an issue. You better fix it. And he shuts the door. And it goes like, ooh, mysterious. Who is this? And so, this is where it gets a bit iffy, because I got to this part, and then I have no clue how to finish it. But what you end up finding out is that the doctor goes back and inspects the houses again. And he's, sonic screwdriving everything. But the thing is, when he goes back to each house, there's one thing missing, and that's the little statues. They're gone. In the first 10 houses he visits it. Then he goes back into the TARDIS and visits 10 different other houses to see if, if they have the statues, the little figurines, and if they do, if they're still there. And he visits them, but they're not there. They don't have statues, so he doesn't know if, they were always there. So he starts kind of, he's like, okay, there's something really going on here. And he sneaks back into the office of Dr. G. He starts snooping around again. He finds that secret door compartment, opens it up, and it's empty. There's nothing in there. He goes like, why does he have a door that leads nowhere and is empty? Okay, that's weird. Clara is... I forgot about her for a minute.
I don't blame you.
Clara is playing lookout. And he's trying to keep eye on security and stuff. He goes like, Doctor, we have to go. There's, maybe this toy company place has nothing to do with the missing people. No, there's too many connections. There's something going on here. And so, they're having an argument while the doctor's looking around. And the doctor starts talking for a bit, giving his explanation of why he thinks there's something wrong with it, but he doesn't hear Clara respond back. And he goes like, Clara? He turns around, she's gone. And in her place is a weeping angel. And he goes, he's surprised, because the last time he saw them were in Manhattan, and he thought they were all dead. What's going on? And then right behind the weeping angel walks the old man. And he goes like, you shouldn't have come in here. We were gonna let you slide, but you kept digging your nose into things, and now you're gonna have to pay for that. Doctor's confused. It's like, how are you aligned with the angels? The angels don't play that kind of a game. They're all about themselves. Like, how did you even get connected with them? And he goes like, well, I'm not from this time. The angels threw me back in time too. 2,000 years ago. And he goes like, so then why are you helping them? They took you away from your time. And it's like, yeah, they did. And I thank them for that. You know how much money I've gotten thanks to all the knowledge that I brought back from 2,000 years in the future? I'm rich. I'm a millionaire. I'm a billionaire. It's like, I thank them for that. And in return, I'm helping them. and he's like, "How are you even helping them?" He's like, "You only have one angel." And then when he says that, he hears like rustling in the back. He turns around, and on Mr. G's table is like an army full of the little weeping angel statues that Clara was gonna buy at the store. And he goes like, "Wait, how are you able to do this?" And he goes like, "I got my ways, I got my technology." And the doctor's confused. He's like, "How? You're all the angels were supposed to be dead." He's like, "Yeah, they were supposed to be dead, but with my help, I was able to, rejuvenize their species, because specifically why he made them into little figurines were during Christmas, little kids try to sneak down to open presents early, and in return, the weeping angel little figurine statue that sits on top of the tree will go down and throw the little kid in the past, because." For those who don't know Doctor Who, weeping angels get energy, or they feed off the energy of the life you could have lived. And for a little kid, that's a lot of life they could have lived. And so that's mostly their targets. They'll throw back like older people or just adults if, it came down to that. But mostly they were targeting little kids. And this is where I'm completely stuck. Because I have to kill the angels through a paradox, because that's the only way to defeat an angel. But I don't know how I would do that. And so this is where my story kind of awkwardly ends, with the Doctor going back in time to save Clara, bring her back to the present, or, air quotes present, and try to bring back the other little kids that have been thrown into the past. But then I don't actually know how to get rid of the angels from that. So, I don't know. So I think that's gonna be pretty much it from my end. Mostly because I don't have a good ending for it.
Well, I don't know how to tell you this, David, but I don't know how to solve your problem either. Oh jeez. Oh man. I really do like how, like, I kind of picked up on, like, I knew what you were going for. But,
Yeah.
I didn't really expect the whole children thing. I'm like, oh, that's right. Children have a lot to live for. I didn't think of that. And I'm also like...
Yeah.
No, when you said that there were, like, little figurines, and there's, like, a mysterious person responsible for this, I'm like, is this, like, a celestial toy maker thing? Like that old Doctor Who villain who never appears in modern-day stuff?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I meant to say Mr. G. Mr. G, his last name was supposed to be Grinch. So it's supposed to be Mr. Grinch. But, no, the reason that, for those who argue that, the Weeping Angels can't be little statues, that's not possible. It's like, well, last time I checked, they made the Weeping Angel a frickin' Statue of Liberty. So I think I can get away with this.
Okay, hold on. Statue of Liberty doesn't make any sense to me. Because people can go inside of it. And everyone's always looking at it. Like, those are two things that already contradict how that works.
See, I've just learned to live with, each time I watch that episode, I choose not to see that. So, it's not good for me.
After a while, you watching Doctor Who, you just kind of have to accept that continuity means nothing. The stuff doesn't mean anything anymore at some point. I mean, technically speaking, nothing that happened before the 11th Doctor even technically happened because he rebooted the universe. I mean, we're in Doctor Who 2.0 unless Capaldi somehow rebooted the universe a second time. I don't know.
That's true. True. I've never thought about it. So yeah, that's something to think about.
Yeah. On a positive note, well, I mean, actually, this has all been positive. None of what we've been saying is pretty negative. So I noticed that a little bit of like the elements that we used in both of our stories were based on you explicitly just chose Weeping Angels. But I really liked...
But they're...
What's that?
No, because those the Weeping Angels were one of my most favorite villains from the show.
No, I understand. It's just because they're such cool. It's such a cool concept. It's like,
yeah,
dang son, like they could be anywhere at any time. It's one of those things like, oh, when you stop looking at them though, that's when it's scary. And like you look back and they're gone, and it's like, what the fuck just happened? I know
I'm
that
just
you know.
sad that they've never brought them back,
dude. Okay, so I know that you know that I used to play Lego Dimensions, and there's a level dedicated to Doctor Who, and it's really fun because they throw Weeping Angels in there, and they for them to work mechanically, you have to blink, but there's no way that the game can tell you're blinking. So it's kind of neat where every couple of seconds the lights just flicker. And that's how they move, and it's really cool because it's like it's a Lego game that somehow manages to bring the fear of Weeping Angels into it. Sure, you're technically invincible because it's a Lego game, but it's still terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been amazing. Wait, did they not? Did you just kill you when they touched you?
They put you in a time loop, but you can like get out of it because it's a Lego game, you know.
Oh, I just thought they'd probably throw you like back at the beginning of the level.
Oh, that's asking for a difficulty rating that's way too high for Lego to ever go into. Now, what it does is sometimes there's sometimes enemies, usually bosses. I think Weeping Angels are the exception to this rule, where they can paralyze you, and you have to perform a specific action in order to be unparalyzed. But for Weeping Angels, it's really specifically they're sending you back in time. And you have the option of like moving your character around and getting it out of it. I don't think it can succeed, but it's still scary nonetheless because like it's just pitch black and all you see is darkness, and then you see yourself in a time vortex, and it's really kind of jarring.
Okay, it's nice. It's nice that they had them in there.
Yeah, nice.
They should have them more.
I mean, there's that level had a lot of stuff though. Like the Daleks the Daleks and the Cybermen were also involved in the story. You know, they were trying to cram everything in there because they were trying to introduce all these concepts to kids who have never heard of Doctor Who.
Yeah. Wait, I do know that sometimes some characters have like some specific dialogue they would say. Was there anyone that had like anything for the Doctor Who characters? Because I remember you said that that there's a Wizard of Oz, world there, and that Batman interacts with the Scarecrow there.
He does,
and so I was like, oh, I wonder if he does that with like any other like characters.
He doesn't get along with the Doctor very well, because the Doctor, the Doctor just he I don't remember exactly what he said. But at some point, he just kind of like gets on Batman's case because Batman is kind of paranoid all the time, and the Doctor's like, "It's not a. It's like no, this is a time machine. Just like it's not. Okay, you guys are just. Oh, it's not a. He had his grappling hook. So the Doctor saves him from a rift loop in while they're traveling, pulls him into the TARDIS. And he's like, "Hey, I'm the Doctor. This is my time machine. It travels through all of time and space." And they're just like, "What? What's going on? Why do you have a copy of my grappling hook? It's not okay. This isn't a copy. This is your grappling hook that you gave me in the future, and I'm using it to save you now." And then he's just like, "It's just a copy." Okay, to reiterate, this is a time machine, not a copy machine. And it's like, that's right. He's like, "Look, I'll just drop you off somewhere. I can't join you because I'll be in my own time stream, so you guys are going to be on your own. Call me if you need me." And then he gives the girl from the Lego movie his phone number in a really creepy fashion, and he's just like, "I'm nice like that." And it's like, I guess this is the writer's way of saying, from an outsider's perspective, the Doctor can be kind of creepy with new companions. Because, I mean...
yeah.
He kind of just abducts people and then they die.
all die, but yes,
I mean,
you do have a good point.
What makes him any different than a serial killer? I mean, it's like a serial killer, but with more stuff. It's like eventually they'll die. We all know that every companion will die at some point. But we just don't know how, and we don't know when. Some of them die pretty soon. Some of them outweigh their welcome.
See, I would say that's a lie, but the last 3 companions he had have died. So, I have nothing I could say about that.
There is a Doctor Who comic series, I forgot the name of it, I think it's called Prisoners of Time, I'm not sure, where Adam, the first companion that he had after Rose, who he immediately got rid of, went back in time using a vortex manipulator and tried to kidnapped one companion from each of the Doctors to try to trick the Doctor into all versions of him going to meet him at the same time and stop him or something? I don't know. The plan doesn't make any sense to me, because if he could kidnap the companions, he could just kill them. And if he can get that close to the companions, he could just go to the Doctor. And I mean, if he had a time machine, he could have just went back to... Here's the thing about time travel fiction. What stops people from going back in time and just killing the Doctor as a kid?
They don't know how he really looks like. Or they don't know what he originally looked like.
Oh, this is so confusing. Time travel is stupid sometimes.
They don't know his name.
Well, that kid from my story knows his name. It's hard to pronounce, but it's there.
Okay.
There's a theory that I saw earlier today, and I don't remember the guy's name, so I apologize if this ever gets to him. I'm not taking credit for this. It is something I saw. I was trying to do research on the Doctor and Santa Claus to see if he's ever met him in fiction before. And so somebody was trying to give me an example of I read this thing where it's like, does the Doctor believe in Santa Claus? And he gave 3 points of evidence to suggest one or the other based on New Who. 9 says, so Rose asks 9, so you must be kind of like Father Christmas. And he goes, I mean, I could be. You know, that red bicycle you got when you were 12? Kind of implying, hey, I'm Santa Claus. Then 11 goes, Santa Claus, Father Christmas, Kris Kringle. Or as I like to call him, Jeff. So, he says he knows Santa Claus, and Santa Claus' name is Jeff. Then we got Last Christmas, where Capaldi meets Santa Claus, where it was just a dream, and he's like, this is clearly a dream, Santa Claus is here. And so someone is like, but these statements are contradictory, right? You would think they're contradictory. And then somebody goes and says, what if they're not contradictory? What if they actually are all the truth? Capaldi knows that Santa Claus isn't real because he is Santa Claus, because Eccleston said he is Santa Claus, and 11 said that Santa Claus' name is Jeff, which means that the Doctor's name is Jeff.
Oh, God. Oh, my... I don't care if Santa Claus is real or not in this universe, but if it turns out his name is Jeff, I will be quitting Doctor Who.
Why? That means 11 will be telling them... Oh. Wait, if Santa Claus' name is Jeff, or if Doctor's name is Jeff?
No, the Doctor's name is Jeff.
That's just so stupid.
I kind of feel that they're gonna choose the dumbest of a name. I would just rather they never, ever reveal his name.
I mean, I thought his name was Who, isn't it?
Doctor Who?
Exactly.
Doctor Who. John, you have to watch the new season.
I am gonna watch the new season.
Have to. It's just, oh my God.
I mean, I'm watching DuckTales. That's pretty close.
No, it's because there's that. Wait, you've gone into the. Wait, Missy has already appeared in your episodes, has she?
Who?
Missy?
Lucy who?
Missy.
Oh, I've seen Missy for a while now. I'm not a big fan of Missy. It just doesn't feel...
Oh my God, John! How are we friends? Oh,
Look, I can like things.
she is amazing.
I liked the last Doctor. He was cool. It's just that Missy feels really shippy to me. I don't like it.
Oh my God. God,
I mean, I'm not a big fan.
Brought...
Look, here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of shipping the Doctor with anyone, and Missy just seems really shippy to me. Like, it feels like ship bait. If you know what I'm saying, just it feels weird, and it's not because it's Missy or because it's the Master, but I just don't feel like the Doctor should honestly.
Spoilers.
What? Oh right.
Spoiled it.
Oh whatever. It's super obvious.
My God, you spoiled it.
Yeah, my name is Misty, or Mistress. It means master. Yeah, no shit, it does. Next, you're gonna be telling me that. Oh Jesus! I remember when I first saw trailers for the last season of Doctor Who, and they showed Shielder in the trailer, and he says something like, "I remember you," or something like that. I'm like, oh, is this Susan? Like, from the first Doctor Who? And I was so disappointed when I found out it was some random Norse person named Shielder. Like, I'm just like, I mean, he promised that he would come back for his granddaughter, but, 13 seasons later, he never does. Also, you can spoil this for me, but who's the bald guy?
What bald guy?
The bald guy. I've seen this bald white guy with glasses on.
Bald white guy with glasses?
Maybe he's not bald. I don't know. I just thought he was bald.
Where is this from?
Doctor Who.
Oh, I know it's Doctor Who, but what bald
He's
guy?
One of the companions. Oh, his name is Nardole.
I have no clue who
Nardole.
Oh, Nordal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who the fuck is that?
Because you haven't seen the Christmas special.
No, I haven't seen the Christmas. I haven't gotten that far.
John. And here's the thing: that Christmas special that he appeared in is like one of my most favorite Christmas specials. Like, period. Mm-hmm. Because it ties up an amazing story. It ties everything up in a nice little bow. And, oh my God, John. You gotta hurry up. Gotta hurry up and watch it. We don't have all time, John. But I'm bummed.
It's alright.
But,
no,
but, wait, sorry, going back to the reason I brought up Missy, and spoilers, I guess. I don't know. But in the last episodes that came out, they did that joke where Missy was pretending to be the Doctor, and she walks out, and she walks out on a little spaceship, like, what do you call it? The main control place thing? And the dude walks out and goes like, "Who are you?" "Well, my name is Doctor Who." It's like, what? It's like, yeah, that's my name, Doctor Who. And the companion's like, why do you keep saying that? Like, saying what? Saying Doctor Who. It's like, well, I like to cut out the middleman. It's like, what do you mean? Watch, I'm the Doctor. Doctor Who. See what I mean? I like to cut out the middleman. And then she goes like, and so and the companion's like, well, stop that. That's not the Doctor's name. It's like, that is his name. Like, what do you mean? Guess why he always says Doctor Who? That's his name. And the Doctor is listening through the earpiece. Is like, Doctor, that's not your name, is it? It's like, don't listen to her. That's not my name. Who? Who is who your name, Doctor? It's like, she's playing with you. Don't listen to her. And it's, oh my God, that little bit they had was so amazing. John, you gotta watch it.
So, in conclusion, my story ends with ends on a happy note. The guy gets back to his home planet, and on your story, there's a bunch of angels out there that are gonna kill people, and they still haven't been contained.
It's a two-parter. The second part is coming next Christmas. So if you want to hear the second part to this, you gotta wait a year.
Yeah, you better make it really good because we're giving you an entire year.
Gotta wait a year. He traveled back in time and he realizes that they're still stuck in the North Pole and they have those little dream things on them. So now he has to try to figure out how to take them out because that's all of season 5. No, wait, crap. What series are they on? Series 10 now?
Oh. The Doctor ends up in a parallel universe in which Doctor Who is entirely fictional and he can't return back because the TARDIS physics do not work in the real world. Also, the moment he steps into the real world, he dies because nobody can live to be 10,000 years old. And Time Lords aren't real.
Well, you haven't seen Matt Pat's latest video, then.
I have. And, he pretty much discredits himself midway through the video. So he's like, yeah. Also, I was super surprised. I was super surprised when he actually made part 3. I'm like, what? I thought part 3 was a joke. It was a joke I was cool with because I'm like, I'm not like I watch Matt Pat videos about a couple of days after they come out. Like, they just pop up on my feed and I tend to gobble them up. But I also wasn't anticipating Doctor Who Part 3. I kind of just expected it to never exist, like the Half-Life 3 meme.
Yeah, but I'm happy he did do it.
So people can stop bitching about it?
Yeah. Because it just got to the point of either do it or stop talking about it. It's getting annoying. It's not funny anymore. It's sad.
I know. It's alright. So, I don't think we have an idea for our next episode. But, we're gonna leave our options open. Unless you wanted
so many
options.
So many. There's like, we can do Mall Cop 3.
Jumanji.
Jumanji.
Oh god.
Oh, I cannot. I really want to see that movie.
I don't want to see that movie. I'm gonna
I really want to see it
because it's not because. Okay, here's the thing. It's not because it's based on Jumanji, and it's not because it looks like I'm not one of those kinds of people who gets in a hissy fit about things that are based on other things. I like Suicide Squad and I like the 2016 Ghostbusters movie. So that tells you right off the bat that I really don't care. But it looks like a movie I'm gonna forget about.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really want to because it's just a movie about people going to. It's just people going to a new video game. It's just Tron, but in the jungle.
True.
And I already saw Central Intelligence, so I already saw enough Dwayne The Rock Johnson interacting with Kevin Hart. I already know how that plays out. It's gonna be that in the jungle.
Well, I mean, isn't Kevin Hart's character always the same? In any movie?
I think so. It's just high-strung and stressed out all the time. I hope Kevin Hart's not like that in real life. I feel bad for him.
No, John, I think he's on 24/7.
No! Somebody get that man a cookie.
Why does that make you so sad?
Because I don't want that for anyone. except for politicians. They deserve to be stressed out all the time. They know what they were getting into. And that's inclusive, an all-inclusive term that I'm going by. All politicians should feel bad for being in politics. All of them, good or bad.
One thing which I hope we can do soon, something similar to. Have you seen the trailer for the Ready Player One?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've seen that.
Oh, that looks amazing. So maybe something. I don't know when that comes out, but that'll be amazing. Or maybe I can't remember the exact name of the movie, but maybe we can do something about that. And it's the oh my god, what is it called? Is it
Pacific Rim?
It's the
Black Panther?
creature in the creature in the water.
The Loch Ness Monster?
No, John. That movie that's coming up. For some reason I typed in water in Google and thought that was going to help.
I think I know what you're talking about. But I was thinking of the Loch Ness Monster.
By the way, have you seen Justice League?
Yes.
Oh my god, so bad.
Okay, hold on. It's called
Don't
Shape
tell me
of
you're going to
Water.
try to defend it.
Huh?
Oh yes, Shape of Water. Oh my god, that looks like an
Hold
amazing
on.
movie. We'll like to do
I
something
like
off
Justice
of that.
League. It was fine.
Oh, I think the podcast is over. We're done, John.
Are we done? I don't know.
We're done. You just
Okay.
approved Justice League.
I approve of it. It's not bad. I mean, should they reboot the series? Yes. But was it bad? Arguably, no.
You give me crap for liking Fantastic Four.
But
How dare
Fantastic
you.
Four was boring. It was so boring. Justice League was fun, at least. They had this really cool dude, bro. I don't know if you remembered him. His name was Aquaman.
Mm-hmm. I remember him.
Oh, and then there was also that one guy who did nothing but tell jokes the whole time. I think his name was Flash.
Those were jokes?
Those were jokes. They were
Those
really
were
funny
supposed
too.
to be jokes?
They were funny jokes. But then
They
again, my
flew
sense of
past
humor
me.
is, huh? I mean, granted, you've heard me tell jokes worse than that. Let's see. Then
Wow.
there's yeah. Batman was in the movie, arguably though, because I don't think that was really Batman. That seemed like the man who used to be Batman. Also Zombie Superman. That was kind of cool. I felt kind of weird that he didn't kill the Justice League somehow. Also,
Mhm.
why he didn't just solve the problem on his own.
Yes.
Oh, also super cool
You know-
CGI bad guy man who I'm never gonna remember. He's gonna be so much more forgettable. I'll remember the Jumanji movie before I remember Steppenwolf.
I totally forgot his name. I thought his name was Strife or something.
You thought his name was
bad that
Shrek?
movie was.
Wait, no. Did you think his name was Shrek? That's
I
a
said
better
Strife.
name to remember. Strife?
Yeah, but then I remembered. No, wait, that's a Marvel villain.
Strife is such a much better and more easily rememberable name than Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf sounds like a shitty cover band from like 80s Metallica.
John, he was
Alright.
inspired by that.
Was he? Because I don't know.
Oh, I don't know either, but he could have been.
All right, I'm gonna. I think we're done today. We already got into our argument about Fantastic Four. Apparently, I like Justice League. There was that. But Thor Ragnarok was much better than Justice League, so at least there's that.
Right, yeah, so at least we can end with an agreement here.
We're gonna end with an agreement.
Yes,
Thor Ragnarok
Thor
was
was
100 times
amazing.
better than Justice League.
That's
Okay,
a good
we're
way
done.
to end this.
That was it.
That's a good way to end this. Happy and with a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, I was gonna say Happy Christmas. What am I, British? Merry Christmas.
John, it's happy holidays. Be more
Merry
respectful.
Christmas. 95% of people celebrate Christmas in America. I am sorry.
Sorry for my rude friend here. Have a happy holiday.
And a Happy New Year. We'll still see you at some point during the rest of this year. But Happy Holidays and Happy New Year.
Okay, bye.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, guys. And just want to let you guys know we've already come up with what our next episode is going to be. And we're really hoping that you guys are excited for it as much as we are. We're going to be creating our very own characters again, kind of similar to our Epic of Gilgamesh and Torch episode as well. But instead of doing two separate stories, we've decided that we're going to be combining our characters into one story. We're basically going to have our very own versus match, which is kind of fun in its own way. You will not be familiar with either character, though, and so we hope to both introduce these characters to you guys, kind of give a little bit of a quick backstory and or power set, and kind of let you guys have a feel for who's going to win in this fight. We will probably have a victor in the episode. Now, we haven't figured out yet if we're going to be doing a role play kind of thing or if it's going to be storytelling exclusively. So we'll find that out actually next week or in 2 weeks. Thank you guys. And be sure to follow us on Twitter and all that other good stuff. Thank you guys. You guys have been wonderful.